What's up everyone, it is me, Katya Tension, yet again, and I am going to be doing a different kind of makeup tutorial today, so bear with me as I will be experimenting with makeup today. I haven't uploaded makeup in a while. I say that every video. It's purely because I'm lazy and I'm not getting makeup. I'm busy doing hair, so maybe I should do some hair tutorials. Y'all let me know in the comments, but I actually already glued down my brows and put on my wig cap, and today we're going to be doing a very different makeup style. I don't normally do this style, so let's see how it turns out. It's kind of like a mix of blue hydrangea and a local queen that I know here in Fort Lauderdale known as Prism. You can find her on Instagram at It's Prism. I'm going to put a little sticker here. And then you can go ahead and give them a follow on Instagram as well. But I'm inspired by a mixture of those two's makeup. Go ahead and tune in as you watch me go from this to this. I know this is a very different look from what I normally do, and don't read me because the lace is not glued and I am not wearing nails because I have not left for the gig yet.
Alright, sorry for this body editing, I just got tired of watching myself ramble. So of course we've already primed and we are going ahead and going in with a white foundation because I want to get a very clear white base. I'm using a Kryolan foundation. I realized that the Mehron white foundation that I'm using is pretty sheer. So I went ahead and covered bits and pieces of it with the Kryolan foundation and added another layer of white Mehron, just so that, you know, when I put powder, it doesn't just pick up again. So as you know, I love to blend, so that will be about 3/4 of my video. But I already put the white in the T-zone area, and I'm putting my contour on. I'm applying my contour a little bit higher than normal because that's what I noticed that Blue Hydrangea and Prism do. Their contours are placed a little bit higher on the cheek than I would normally place my own. Just remember, folks, that blending is your best friend if you want to be beautiful. I went in with another layer of foundation to cut under the cheek. I know that Prism doesn't do this, but I saw that Blue Hydrangea does, so I figured I'd go back to doing that. I used to do that back in the day, and I said, why not? Let's do it again. And both artists also do the very cut nose contour, which will bring in your nose quite a bit. There's numerous ways that you can do your nose contour, but this is how both of them do it, and I really enjoy it. And then of course I brought in the sides with more white foundation. I'm just doing my brows normal here. I noticed that both of them place their eyebrows a little bit higher than I do. So I sort of placed them a little bit higher, but not by much. And of course, on camera I mess up my eyebrow, so thank God for doing it in creams so I could clean it up. Now when I'm setting, I'm using a Ben Nye neutral set, the colorless neutral set, on the T-zone where I have the whites, and then I use my Airspun in translucent extra coverage on the rest of my face, and I use my brushes to blend everything together. Now, you see me leaning into the camera and the mirror a lot because I want to make sure that that powder set right and did not pick up my foundation. I went ahead and I bronzed, and we're contouring. Nothing new about this. If you want to go in depth about that, I do have other videos, so please reference those. I do my regular bronzer, then I do a contour, and then I do a dark brown eyeshadow. Now, the only difference with blush on these looks is that blush is higher on the apple of the cheek. Normally I'd bring my blush forward more, but that is not what this look calls for. I cut my cheek again with the powder foundation, and I went right in with some pomade from Morphe to fill in my eyebrows. So for tonight's look, I will be wearing a purple wig, but unfortunately for my regular show, I'm not going to be wearing just the purple wig. So I'm only going to be deepening my eyebrow color with dark browns, because if I was just wearing purple or reds for hair, I would put that color in my eyebrow. But since I'm going to be wearing brown hair for my second number tonight, I went ahead and just deepened it with a natural color. So as usual, I put the white Mehron foundation on my lids as a sort of primer for my eyeshadows, and I put white Revolution baking powder on my cheeks to catch any fallout and bring out my highlight. I'm using a purple eyeshadow from the Mehron palette from James Charles, ugh, I know. We don't like James Charles, but I bought this palette before everything really went bad. I'm doing a different look. I thought I was just gonna do like this weird oil spill kind of shape, but it ended up turning out to look more like a clowny, jokery kind of look. And, I wasn't really mad at it, so I didn't go crazy with it. But what I did is I centered the color around the pupil of my eye, the color of my eye, and the pupil of my eye, so that it was even. And, sometimes when you put something on your eye on one side, it doesn't match the other. But the best way to do it is just look forward, dab directly in the middle, and that's where it'll line up on both sides. So I used one purple, and I went to another Mehron palette, the 35B, I think is what it is. I don't think they make it anymore. And I used the darker purple on that one to deepen the darker colors there so that it has dimension. Because, when we do makeup, we like dimension. If you don't like dimension when you do makeup, you are in the wrong industry. So I'm just using my fluffy brush from one of those brushes you get from Dollar Tree, Walgreens, Walmart, I don't know, but I got it from one of those, regular places. You can go there any day of the week. So instead of using white eyeshadow, I'm actually using the Ben Nye Neutral set to set the whites of my eyeshadow. For some reason, I just really like how it makes the white set since I'm using a foundation as a eyeshadow primer. And I have gone back to liquid eyeliner. Y'all can judge me all you want, but when you put some black eyeshadow on top of that, it will not move. The only problem is that it is really stressful to apply, and if you mess it up, it can completely destroy your entire look. But so long as you're being brave and have a steady hand and don't sneeze, you will be fine. So now I'm using an old oil eyeshadow palette from, it's a dupe of Makeup Forever. They had them on eBay a long time ago, and I still have it, so I don't recommend using old makeup, but if you're feeling brave like I am and don't have health insurance and are just ready to risk it all, go for it. I'm adding the pink to create extra dimension. I am actually outlining the darker parts and filling in extra designs on the eye. I know up close it seems like you're just doing a lot of detail work for nothing, but people can really tell in a distance, and it does create extra dimension. And since it is an oil eyeshadow, or oil based is what I should be saying, I do use the Ben Nye Neutral set to set it and make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Of course, I deepen my contours and make sure those look nice and pretty, and I go straight in with my lips. Now, every time I do my lips, I line my lips with NYX eyeliner pencil thingies and those lip pencils. I've never once used their eyeliner pencils for my eyes. I specifically use them all for my lips. They don't move, they trace out really well, and it just sets a really good map for where you want your lips. So I fill in those lips with a NYX liquid lip, and then I add some white foundation. This is an old school trick, and it works, baby. It makes your lips look massive. Then I use a brush to bring out the darker colors from the outside corners. Now I'm using my favorite product, the Airspun Loose Highlight Powder. I know I rave about this every single time, but I promise you it is worth the $8. So I just brought some more blush out because I wanted more color in my face. And I use my setting spray. It's some Milani stuff. I don't recommend it because it's not that great, but I was on a budget. I've been using it for a while, and at first I liked it, but not anymore. But after I use the setting spray, I then reapply some more of the highlight to create, more concentration. And then I add some of the white setting powder to really heighten those light points. Now, this leads me to today's beauty tip. It works for both regular day-to-day makeup and drag makeup. When you use your setting spray, of course it wets your entire face and it wets the product on your face. So at this time, you could take advantage of this by using your beauty blender and lightly dabbing your face. And when I mean lightly, I want it to barely kiss your skin. You don't want to press it in because you don't want that extra foundation picking up that product. What this will do is it will lock in your foundation and your makeup for the entire day. I promise you.
This is the final look. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm just going to give you guys a final look after I brush off this part of my nose. There we go.